Fox Carolina News starts now with a breaking news alert.
Oconee County picking up the pieces tonight after an EF3 tornado ripped through the area with winds up to 160 miles an hour, leaving a 16-mile-long trail of devastation. The National Weather Service says this tornado was at least a half a mile wide.
It's the first EF3 tornado to hit the upstate since 2011 and one of 3 tornadoes to touch down overnight, along with an EF0 near Eastleigh and an EF2 near the northern border of Pickens and Greenville counties. Good evening. I'm Victoria Carmen.
And I'm Cody Alcorn. It's been a devastating 24 hours for people across our viewing area. One of them, the family of a man who is in the ICU at this hour. He was picked up by the EF3 twister in Seneca and tossed several blocks. Only on Fox Tonight, Fox Carolina's Brooklyn Cromer spoke with his mom, Brooklyn. We spoke to her earlier. How is her son doing right now?
Okay, this is truly a terrifying story that she tells me about what happened to her son. She says he was found about 2 blocks away, so he was thrown about 2 blocks from where he was initially swept up. Now, she says he was rushed to the hospital and tonight remains in ICU. She says he has multiple injuries and is hooked up to a ventilator. Violent winds swept through Seneca with an EF3 tornado wreaking havoc on everything in its tracks. Kitty Tompkins was at her home in Anderson, also taking shelter from the storm. But she never imagined the news she would get a few hours later.
I know prayer works, and I would just ask everyone to please pray.
Tompkins' son, 28-year-old Jeremy Mutthart, was hanging out at a friend's house near 4th Street in Seneca when the tornado hit. She says Jeremy and his friend took shelter in a nearby shed, but were picked up by the winds and thrown blocks away, landing on Wells Highway.
He said it went approximately, they were in the air like 2 blocks from where they were to where they landed.
Tompkins says Jeremy's friend is doing okay and was able to tell her what happened.
They took shelter in a shed. He heard a train. He said, and he opened the door, and then I don't know if Jeremy saw it or not, but they hunkered down, and the next thing his friend said, they were up in the air and trees were hitting him. Everything was hitting him.
Jeremy's friend told her he landed face first on concrete.
They said a tree hit his neck. Both of his mandibles are broken. And then the bone up here that holds his teeth is broken. He has a feeding tube and he's on the ventilator.
She says her son needs all the prayers he can get and is asking the community to pray for him.
The only thing right now that I feel like I can do is ask people to pray for him.
And we know Jeremy and his friend landed somewhere along Wells Highway near this area where we're at right now, though we couldn't get to the exact spot because so many roads are blocked off.
News we confirmed today. Many of you reached out to us this morning during our on-the-air 24/7 coverage. A security guard there lost his life, folks. Now, he was 77 years old. He was a contractor there by the name of Jack Harville. He was from Walhalla. He was there in a guard shack, and it collapsed. And it was not just Oconee County hit hard. As the sun came up this morning, we got an idea of just how bad it was. Look at this in Pickens County. This is where people were trapped, at least one person, under a mobile home today. Fox Carolina's Shell Ramin has been out in the hardest hit areas of Pickens County. She's live tonight. And Shell, this is a storm, it's left destruction we have not seen in this area in years.
Yeah, Cody, it's just been devastating. When I went through earlier today, it looked like a war zone. The video we're about to show you really doesn't do it justice. Every single fire department in this county responded to calls in the middle of the night, including Eastleigh Fire, which is right behind me here. They went through so many calls that they would normally see in one night. They would normally see those calls in about a 3 to 4 day time span, if that tells you something, all because of tornadoes ranging from an EF0 to an EF3.